Anne had unknowingly brought back a hidden boss from the deepest part of the dungeon only to discover her true form was a stunning woman. Kevin was completely shocked. After all, back in the dungeon, Annie had looked like a skeleton. And the worst part, he was the last person to find out. Just a short while earlier, Kevin had heard from Jack about a mysterious hidden dungeon nearby. Rumor had it that inside was an artifact capable of changing how others perceived you. Wanting to enjoy a peaceful life as an outcast, Kevin decided to go find this item. However, on his way, he ran into a massive group of monsters. Although it struck him as odd, he didn't think much of it. He simply planned to wipe them all out before continuing into the dungeon. At the same time, the Adventurers Guild had also received reports of a monster attack outside the city. They sent teams out to deal with the threat. Meanwhile, Kevin kept fighting until dusk before finally clearing out the entire horde. Only then did he enter the dungeon. Maybe it was his maxed out luck stat, but Kevin almost immediately stumbled upon a ton of treasure chests. Unfortunately, everything inside was complete junk. Deciding to return to town to gather more intel, he headed back, but the moment he reached the city outskirts, he noticed a large crowd gathered. Kevin assumed they were having a bonfire party. An adventurer explained that, due to the monster threat, they had been standing guard all day. Kevin casually asked, "Wait, was it a bunch of wild boars? Because I spent all day fighting those." The crowd went silent in shock. They couldn't believe Kevin had defeated the entire monster force by himself. In an instant, he became the center of attention. Everyone was incredibly grateful to him. The next day, after asking around, Kevin learned that the upper floors of the dungeon were simply beginner trials. The deeper the floor, the rarer the treasure. The dungeon was rumored to go as deep as floor 100, and each floor had a guardian boss that had to be defeated to progress. So far, the deepest anyone had reached was floor 50. That information alone was enough to ignite Kevin's curiosity. Without hesitation, he made up his mind to return to the dungeon. Once inside, Kevin did what any luck-maxed adventurer would do, he ran around aimlessly. But just a few steps in, he tripped and triggered a hidden mechanism. The floor collapsed beneath him. Luckily, he managed to cast an earth spell mid-fall, cushioning his landing just in time. Staring down a pitch-black underground passage, Kevin considered using his controlled step technique to sneak out, but the tunnel was too narrow to execute it properly. So, he gave up on escaping for now, and decided to explore instead. Opening his skill menu, he discovered he had learned two new abilities, one called Spatial Awareness, likely gained due to the dark surroundings, and another called Trap Sense, apparently unlocked just by falling into a trap. Kevin immediately activated the new skills, scanning the space and identifying the layout of traps nearby. That's when something unusual popped up on his screen, a system prompt that read, "Now entering floor 101." Kevin stared at it, confused.